Hola and welcome to Madrid, the heart of Spain, a city of kings, of art, and of life that never slows down. Situated almost exactly at the center of the Iberian Peninsula, Madrid holds the unique title of being the highest capital city in Europe, perched at around 2,130 feet above sea level. Though people have lived here since ancient times, Madrid didn't become the capital until relatively late. In 1561, when King Philip II chose it as the seat of his court. Since then it has grown into the political and cultural heart of the nation. Today Madrid is a vibrant metropolis, home to over 3 million people. But it's more than just numbers. It's a city you need to feel. Its sounds, its flavors, its art, and the rhythm of daily life. In this video we're taking you on the first of several handcrafted walking routes, each one designed to guide you through Madrid's most iconic and beautiful corners. This series is the perfect starting point for discovering the city at your own pace. You'll find detailed maps, practical tips, and in-depth descriptions of every stop on our website. The link is in the video description below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you won't miss upcoming episodes from our journey through Spain and Europe. And now, let's begin our adventure through Madrid. We start with route number 1, Royal Madrid. Today's route takes us right through the heart of the city, designed as a full-day walk with enough time to enjoy many of the landmarks and sights along the way. It's the perfect option if you want to see the most important highlights of Madrid in just one day. Keep in mind that some attractions have specific opening hours or limited daily entries. For a few key spots, we strongly recommend booking tickets online in advance. It's the best way to avoid long lines or missing out due to limited availability. All the details, including updated hours, ticket prices, and our reservation tips, are available on our website in the description for this exact route. And now it's time to begin our stroll through Madrid. Ready? Let's go! We begin our journey through Madrid right at its symbolic center, Puerta del Sol. Back in the 15th century, this was where the city's defensive wall ran. And at the very center of today's plaza stood an eastern-facing gate. It was through that gate that the first rays of morning sunlight would enter the city, giving the place its name, the Gate of the Sun. Today, Puerta del Sol is one of the busiest and most recognizable places in Madrid. Ten major streets converge here, and below ground, 3 metro lines cross, including the city's oldest, opened in 1919. Take a moment to look around. This square is packed with landmarks that are deeply tied to Madrid's identity. The oldest building on the square is Real Casa de Correos, a former post office built in the second half of the 18th century. Today it houses the headquarters of the regional government of the Community of Madrid. On top of the building sits a famous clock that plays a key role every New Year's Eve. As midnight approaches, crowds gather to eat 12 grapes, one with each chime, a Spanish tradition believed to bring good luck and prosperity for the year ahead. Just in front of the building, you'll find Kilómetro Cero, the symbolic center of Madrid and of all Spain. In the 18th century, King Philip V used this point to mark 6 roads that would radiate out across the country. Today they're known as highways A1 through A6. A small plaque marks the spot, showing a map of Spain, Portugal, and southern France, along with the Madrid coat of arms and the seal of the Spanish Society of Civil Engineers. At the center of the plaza stands an equestrian statue of King Charles III, widely considered one of the most effective rulers in Spanish history, and often referred to as the best mayor Madrid ever had. The base of the statue features a 12-line inscription, inspired by Roman Trajan's column. To read the full text, you actually have to walk around the monument. It highlights the major achievements of his reign, from infrastructure development to progressive urban reforms. Off to the side, near the entrance to Calle de la Cala, you'll see a 20-ton bronze statue of a bear reaching up to a strawberry tree. El oso y el madroño. This is one of the most recognizable symbols of Madrid and one of the most popular meeting spots on the square. But where did this symbol come from? In medieval times, the area around Madrid was covered in forests, filled with wild animals, especially bears. The city and the church had long-standing disputes over rights to the surrounding land. The bear represented those natural areas that eventually came under the control of the city. Over time, the bear was paired with the madroño, a native evergreen tree with red fruit. Together they became the emblem of Madrid, the same one still used today. And finally, directly across from the clock tower, you'll notice a large neon sign, the Tío Pepe billboard. It's been here since 1935, originally placed to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the Jerez winery. The bottle, dressed in a red jacket and hat, has become an iconic figure in Spanish advertising, and today the sign itself is a protected cultural landmark. We leave Puerta del Sol and head toward Plaza Mayor, one of Madrid's most iconic squares. Our walk takes us along Calle Arenal, a lively pedestrian street filled with shops, cafes, and a few hidden surprises. One of those surprises is the charming Ratoncito Pérez Museum. It's a small place that's easy to miss, but definitely worth a quick stop. You'll find it on the first floor of an unassuming building at Calle Arenal 8. Ratoncito Pérez is a beloved character known to every Spanish child. A kind little mouse who leaves a coin under the pillow in exchange for a lost baby tooth. Think of him as the Spanish version of the Tooth Fairy, but with his own long tradition and a uniquely Madrid legend. According to the story, it was right here, in a mailbox above this very shop, where Ratoncito lived with his family. After this short fairy tale break, we're back on track. Ahead of us lies Plaza Mayor. Grand, historic, and once the stage for some of the city's most important public events. Surrounded by elegant three-story buildings with arcades, this rectangular square was built in the 17th century during the reign of Philip III, whose equestrian statue, the second one on our route today, stands right at its center. Originally used as a market, the square quickly became the setting for royal ceremonies, jousting tournaments, religious processions, and even public executions. The statue of King Philip III was installed in 1848, though it was cast much earlier in the 1600s. Today it's one of the most photographed monuments in the city and a central landmark of the plaza. The square's most recognizable building is the Casa de la Panadería, once the Royal Bakery, now home to the city's tourist information center. Its facade is decorated with colorful frescoes, inspired by mythology and Madrid's own history, painted in 1992 by Carlos Franco. Believe it or not, until 1960, trams used to run right through the square, and daily traffic was part of the scene. Not surprising, considering 9 different streets and entrances lead into Plaza Mayor. The most famous of these is the Arco de Cuchilleros, the Arch of the Knife Makers. The name dates back to when Plaza Mayor was the commercial and artisanal heart of Madrid. This was the area where knife makers had their workshops, craftsmen who produced knives, blades, and tools for butchers and cooks. They were part of the city's powerful guild system, which for centuries regulated product quality, passed down skills through generations and safeguarded the honor of each trade. Madrid had dozens of such guilds, from bakers and tailors to jewelers. We now leave the plaza through Arco de Cuchilleros, stepping into the narrow cobbled Calle de Cuchilleros, one of the most atmospheric streets in Madrid. Just a few steps away is Sobrino de Botín, officially recognized by the Guinness Book of World Records as the oldest continuously operating restaurant in the world, founded in 1725. From Plaza Mayor, you could head in many directions, but we're taking a quick turn around the corner to visit the legendary Mercado de San Miguel, one of the city's most famous food markets. This is one of the most iconic market halls in all of Madrid, and a true feast for the senses. The building itself is a gem of iron and glass architecture dating back to 1916. While it once served as a traditional food market for locals in the city center, today it's been transformed into an elegant food hall where you can sample the best flavors of Spain under one roof. Inside, you'll find everything, from crispy tapas and fresh seafood to cheeses, olives, and the famous jamón ibérico. It's also the perfect place to try a small portion of paella, paired with a glass of wine or refreshing sangria. We now leave the vibrant San Miguel market and step into a quieter part of the city. A short walk brings us to a place where Madrid's history reaches its oldest roots. Welcome to Park del Emir Mohammed I. A small but significant park with remnants of the Arab defensive walls that once surrounded Madrid as early as the 9th century. Back then, the city known as Madrid was a small Moorish settlement founded by the Emirate of Cordoba. These are the oldest preserved architectural remains in all of Madrid. Though now modest and hidden in the shadow of grand buildings, they are a reminder of the time when Madrid was a strategic fortress on the border between Christian and Muslim Spain. It was here that the city's story began, a city that would one day become the capital of an empire. And just nearby, rising proudly above the landscape, stands the monumental silhouette of Almudena Cathedral, our next stop. The mighty Almudena Cathedral, the most important church in Madrid, and the only one in all of Spain ever consecrated by Pope John Paul II. But where does its name come from? Legend says that during the 11th century Reconquista, Christian knights under King Alfonso VI were searching for a long-lost statue of the Virgin Mary, a statue that centuries earlier had been brought to Madrid by Saint James himself during his pilgrimage from the Holy Land. To protect it during the Muslim era, the townspeople hid the statue, and over the next 400 years, its hiding place was completely forgotten. Then came a miracle. When Alfonso's soldiers threatened to tear down the city walls unless the statue was found, a section of the wall collapsed on its own. Behind it, the Virgin, illuminated by two still burning candles. The site of the miracle was near the ancient fortress walls, Almudena in Arabic. And so she became known as Our Lady of Almudena, La Virgen de la Almudena. Her presence is still deeply felt here today. The cathedral you see now has two levels. Below lies one of the largest and oldest Neo-Romanesque crypts in Spain. An underground sanctuary with more than 400 columns, 5 aisles, 18 chapels, and a powerful atmosphere of silence and reflection. Many notable figures rest here. Queen Maria de la Mercedes, wife of King Alfonso XII, the crypt's architect Enrique Maria Repuyes, and Carmen Franco, daughter of Spain's former dictator who died in 2017. From the depths of the crypt, we rise into the upper cathedral. Bright, majestic, surprisingly modern. Although construction began in the 1800s, the cathedral wasn't finished until 1993. After over a century of delays, redesigns, and setbacks. It was Pope John Paul II who finally consecrated it. That makes Almudena the youngest cathedral in Spain, and the only one that blends so many architectural styles. A Romanesque crypt below, Gothic interior in the middle, and a Baroque facade designed to mirror the nearby royal palace. Step inside and you'll feel it immediately. This is not a medieval cathedral. It's brighter, more open, almost contemporary. Yet still sacred, still full of tradition. Before you leave, don't miss the massive bronze doors. They tell stories of the Virgin of Almudena, of Saint Isidore's arrival in Madrid. Moments carved into metal, frozen in time. And one last secret, you can actually go up to the roof. Few people know this. The entrance is through the museum, and it's usually not crowded at the top. From up there, the views are breathtaking. The Royal Palace, Campo del Moro Gardens, and beyond, the rooftops and hills of Madrid. It's a peaceful place, far from the crowds, perfect for a quiet moment or the perfect photo. As we leave the cathedral, let's take a moment to pause on a Plaza de la Almudena, a small but striking square nestled between the cathedral and the royal palace. Be sure to walk over to the edge of the plaza. From here, you'll enjoy a breathtaking panoramic view over western Madrid. Below lie the Campo del Moro Gardens, and beyond them, the hills and neighborhoods that stretch all the way to the horizon. And if you glance to your left, you'll see the elegant entrance to the Royal Gallery, a sleek multi-level museum that's one of the newest additions to the palace complex. This is where some of the most valuable pieces from the Spanish royal collections are now on display. Next, we continue to one of the grandest buildings in all of Madrid, the Royal Palace, the largest royal residence in Europe, even bigger than Versailles or Buckingham Palace. Though today it serves mostly ceremonial functions, the palace was the official residence of the Spanish monarchs for over 200 years, and its story begins with a disaster. On Christmas Eve of 1734, a massive fire destroyed the old Alcazar of Madrid, the former royal fortress and palace from the Habsburg era. In response, King Philip V, the first Bourbon monarch in Spain, ordered the construction of a new and far more magnificent residence, one that reflects the grandeur of his dynasty and the legacy of his grandfather, Louis XIV of France. Construction lasted for decades. The palace was designed on an epic scale, blending Italian Baroque with French neoclassical elements. It was built from granite and limestone, strong enough to never burn again. Inside, over 3,000 rooms were filled with marble, gold, frescoes, tapestries, and priceless artworks from the royal collections. If you have time, we highly recommend going inside. The interiors are stunning, from the ornate throne room to the porcelain chamber and the grand banquet hall, which still hosts official state events to this day. And if you happen to be here on a Wednesday or Saturday at noon, you'll witness a special treat: the changing of the guard. It's a ceremonial display with the royal guard in full uniform, complete with drums, precision marching, and 18th century flair, a real spectacle that draws large crowds. While the royal palace remains a working venue for official ceremonies, the Spanish royal family no longer lives here. Their current residence is the much more modest Palace of Sarusela, located on the outskirts of Madrid. In 2014, after nearly 4 decades on the throne, King Juan Carlos I signed his abdication, passing the crown to his son, King Felipe VI, who has served as Spain's monarch ever since. Let's keep walking and take a brief break in the shade of the trees at Plaza de Oriente. An elegant 19th century garden that unfolds in front of the eastern facade of the royal palace. This serene, symmetrical space is perfect for a short rest. Surrounded by sculpted hedges and classical symmetry, it offers a beautiful contrast to the grandeur of the palace and invites you to slow down and take it all in. At the heart of the plaza stands the monument to King Philip IV, a true masterpiece of Baroque sculpture. What makes it so special? It was the world's first equestrian statue with the horse rearing on its hind legs, balanced perfectly thanks to a clever use of weight distribution. The statue was created in the 17th century by sculptor Pietro Tacca, a student of Giambologna, with mathematical assistance from none other than Galileo Galilei, who helped calculate the center of gravity so the statue could stand on just 2 legs and a tail. Surrounding the plaza are statues of former Spanish kings, originally intended to crown the roof of the palace, but when it was realized they were too heavy, they were placed here instead, forming a kind of open-air gallery of Spain's royal past, from the Visigoths to the Habsburgs and Bourbons. Before we move on, let's take a short detour, just a few steps from the palace, to visit the royal monastery of the Incarnation, Real Monasterio de la Encarnación. Founded in 1611 by Queen Margaret of Austria, wife of Philip III, this cloistered convent was built as a place of prayer for the well-being of the Habsburg dynasty. For centuries, the nuns here lived in silence and seclusion, and the monastery remained deeply tied to the royal family. Today, part of the complex is open to the public, but only by guided tour in Spanish, which lasts about an hour. Even if you don't speak the language, it's well worth the visit. Inside you'll explore the monastic interiors, a richly decorated Baroque church, peaceful cloisters, and one of Madrid's most fascinating collections of relics. The most famous is that of Saint Pantaleon, a 4th century doctor and martyr. His preserved blood, sealed in a vial, is said to miraculously liquefy once a year, on July 27th. an event still considered a miracle by many. The Royal Monastery of the Incarnation is a place of quiet reflection and spiritual wonder, a completely different side of Madrid, far removed from the city's hustle and noise. If you're looking to experience the more mystical, hidden side of the capital, don't miss this stop. From here, we make our way back toward the heart of the city. Passing by the Royal Theatre, Teatro Real, one of Spain's most important cultural institutions for over 2 centuries. The Opera House opened its doors in 1850 and has since hosted legends from Placido Domingo to Luciano Pavarotti. Today it's a world-class venue where you just might catch a performance in the evening. We wrap up our walking tour at Plaza de Isabel II, a fitting final stop. The square is named after Queen Isabella II, a Bourbon monarch who ruled Spain in the mid-19th century. Though her reign was marked by political turbulence and eventual exile, her time on the throne ushered in the construction of many of Madrid's signature buildings, including the Royal Theatre that still stands proudly beside the square. But there's even more history here, buried underground. During the construction of the Opera metro station, workers uncovered the remains of a 17th century aqueduct that once supplied water to the palace and nearby monasteries from the surrounding hills. Today you can visit this underground archaeological site. A small museum below the station features restored water channels, cisterns, and the original stone walls of the aqueduct, offering a unique glimpse into old Madrid hidden just beneath your feet. And with that, we reached the end of our journey. Thank you for joining us on this walk through Madrid. If you enjoyed it, be sure to visit our website. You'll find maps, extra descriptions, and helpful links for tickets and planning. And if you'd like to explore more cities with us, subscribe to the channel and let us know in the comments where you'd like to go next. We hope to see you again soon for another adventure in the Spanish capital. Hasta luego!